good morning or good afternoon. Hope all of you guys have been able to wake up with so much energy and ready to learn for the lesson that we have today. But before we can do that, we need to use all our energy to be able to sing. So if you're sitting down, I want you to stand up. I want you to shake off all that sleepiness, tiredness, and be ready to sing and dance around with the song that we have for today. So I'll see you then.
For this day, we're gathered in your name, calling out to you. Your glory like a fire, awakening desire, will burn our hearts with truth. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason we're singing. Place your glory on our face. We're looking to the sky, descending like a cloud. You're standing with us now. Lord, unveil our eyes. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason we're singing.
So I hope that everybody was able to enjoy that time. So now it is time to learn the lesson for today. So as you guys probably saw, hopefully you guys did see it, that today we're going to be learning a story that is found in the book of Daniel about three young men. Three young men that go by the name of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Now, those names are kind of a little weird, but hopefully you can repeat them with me. So, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now, before we learn about these three young men, we're going to learn about a king do you guys know what a king is? So maybe you guys see a king with, you know, a big crown, and they probably have a lot of money. They wear fancy clothes. They probably wear gold. They probably have a dog. So there was once this king named King Nebuchadnezzar. Now I know that's a weird and a long name, but try saying it with me. Say King Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar. So this is the name of the king. So this king thought he was the best. He was the greatest. He was the strongest king that the people have ever had. So he probably thought he had the biggest muscles. He probably thought that he had the biggest brain. But who knows if that was true? So the king said, I want everybody to know that I am the best king ever. So what did he do? So the king had workers, and he told them, I need you guys to make a big statue. Not any type of statue, but a gold statue. And I want you to make it so big so that anybody that's from here can see it, even if they're far away. So imagine how big the statue was made. We're not talking about this big or this big, but probably even bigger. So it's probably something big this way and big like that. So tall and wide. So you can imagine how big the statue was. And if you're if you're short, then you can imagine how big it was. He had to look up all the way high. So the king said, I want everybody to know that I'm the best king they ever had. So you need to make a gold statue and, you know, make it big enough for everybody to see. So the workers were like, okay, we'll do it. So they made the statue. And did it come out the way the king wants it? It did. So it was exactly how he wanted it. He wanted a gold statue, so it was gold. He wanted it to be really wide, so it was wide. He wanted it to be really tall, and it was tall. But here's the thing. The king said, now I have made a new rule. So you guys know what rules are, right? It's like saying when your mom says, don't eat when you have food in your mouth. That's a rule. So there's something that you shouldn't do, or something that you should do. So the king said, now that this statue is here, whenever this sound is played, or this song, this music is played, I need everybody to stop what they're doing, to get on their knees, bow down, and pray to the statue. Can you believe that? So let's imagine you were living in that time, and you hear trumpets. You guys know what trumpets are? It's like, doo 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 doo, something like that. So you hear a trumpet sound, and then probably you're eating, and you have to stop eating, and then you have to get on your knees and pray. Now, I don't think I'd want to do that. Do you guys think you'd want to do that? So the king said, I need everybody to do this. And he said, if they don't, if you decide that you don't want to stop what you're doing and get on your knees and pray to the statue, he said that he was going to throw you into fire. Can you believe that? Fire. Fire, like what you use to make food, what you use to make chicken, cooked chicken. So the king said, if you're not going to follow my rules, then your punishment is to get thrown into fire. Now, have you guys ever touched fire? Have you guys ever seen fire? Maybe your mom or your dad lights up a candle and there's like a little fire there. Or maybe when it's your birthday and you have to blow out the candles. Sometimes when you get close to it, it feels kind of hot. So the fire could be like right here and you feel the heat, you start, whew, you feel hot. But imagine being thrown into fire, like saying a pool. A pool feels so cool, it feels cold, it feels nice. But imagine instead of being a pool of water, it's like a pool of fire. So you can imagine how hot, how fast something can burn. And this is what the king wanted. He wanted people to get burned just because they didn't want to follow his rule. Now, after all of that was said and the people knew what they had to do, a few days after that, it was time to bow down and pray to the king. So they heard the trumpet noises. So they heard the trumpet noises and everybody stopped what they were doing. They got on their knees and they started praying to the statue. But here's the thing. The 3 young men that I mentioned before, those were the 3 young men that didn't want to bow down. They didn't want to listen to what the king said. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, we're not going to bow down to this king. We're not going to bow down to the statue he's made. Do you know why? So the 3 young men believed in God. They said that we shouldn't do this. God said that the only person or thing that we should bow down to is him. So they were obeying God and they weren't obeying the king, because God is the one who created them, who is their father. So he said, we're not going to listen to the king. Now, when this happened, some of the workers of the king found out and told the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, there's 3 young men that don't want to listen to you. So can you guess what happened with the king? Can you guess how the king felt? The king was so mad. He was mad. Probably smoke was coming out of his ears. He probably turned red. So the king was so mad and he said, I need those 3 young men to be thrown into the fire instantly, fast. So the king, he wasn't joking when he said, I'm going to throw you in the fire if you don't pray or if you don't bow down to the statue. Now, if I were the 3 young men, I think I would be super scared, because fire, I don't want to get burnt. I don't want to die. And I can imagine if you guys were in their position, you'd be scared too. So the 3 young men were taken to the king and the king threw them into the fire. But here's what happened. So there were 3 young men, but when the king looked at the fire, he saw that there were 4 figures. 4. So what happened? So that was like an angel or God in the fire with them, protecting them. So the fire was like, take out the men from the fire. So they turned off the fire, and then they saw only the 3 men that they had thrown in there. But when they got out the fire, they didn't stink. None of their clothes was burnt. They smelled perfectly fine. They looked perfectly fine. You know, there wasn't any bruises or anything on them. So after that, the king thought, you know, this is something that God did. God had everything under control. God was protecting the 3 men. So from after that day, the king decided that God was the only person that deserved or that needed to be prayed for. So instead of believing that his statue was the most important and all, he believed that God is the one that needed to deserve the prayers, that is the only person that you should pray to and bow down to. So at the end of this, the 3 young men were able to change the heart of the king, because they showed him that God has everything under control, that God got it. So God would do everything and anything to make sure that his children, as in me and all of you guys, that you guys are perfectly fine. So I hope you were able to pay attention to the whole story and learn about how God has everything under control. So now we have Abby with the Bible verse of this month. So I hope I didn't bore you guys. I hope that you guys are still energetic. You guys have energy to learn the Bible verse with Abby. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Zari, for that amazing lesson. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys always remember that God's got it. He has every single little thing under control. So now we're gonna get right into the verse, but wait, aren't we in a new month? We're in the month of October. But doesn't that mean we had to learn a new verse? Yes. So we had to learn a new verse and new steps. So I hope you guys are ready and paying attention. So I'm gonna do English first and I'm gonna teach you guys the steps so then we can do it together, right? God, so we're gonna point up when I say God. So God is with you. We're gonna point forward, all right? Is with you wherever. So we're gonna spin our arms around. So wherever, then we're gonna march in place, all right? You go. And we're gonna put our hands like a book. Joshua 1:9. So I'm gonna do it one more time so you guys can see, all right? God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So we're gonna do it together this time, all right? God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. All right? So I hope you guys got that, and now we're gonna do it in Spanish. It's the same exact steps, but the verse is just in Spanish, all right? Hope you guys are ready. Pay attention. Dios está contigo donde quiera que vayas. José 1:9. All right, let's do it together. Dios está contigo donde quiera que vayas. José 1:9. All right, one last time in English, okay? God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. So I hope you guys practice this verse and practice the steps throughout the whole week. And I hope that you guys remember it, all right? Don't forget it. So always remember that God got it. God always has it under control. God's got it, all right? I'll see you guys later. Bye.